What happened when your stepkids told you weren't their real mother? I had been married to Kevin for 6 years when his 2 daughters from his previous marriage, Emma and Grace, sat me down one afternoon and said the words that made my stomach drop. "You're not our real mom. We don't have to listen to you." I smiled calmly, but inside I broke a little. Emma was 13, Grace was 10, and I had been raising them since they were 7 and 4. Their mom had moved to another state and barely called once a month. I never tried to replace their mother. I cooked their favorite meals every single day. Mac and cheese with the little cartoon shapes for Grace, grilled cheese cut diagonally for Emma. I went to every school play, soccer game, and parent-teacher conference. I made Halloween costumes by hand, staying up until 3 in the morning to get the sequins just right on Grace's mermaid tail. I even sat in the hospital overnight when Emma broke her arm falling off her bike, holding her hand while she cried because their mom was unreachable again. Kevin was out of town for work, and it was just me and Emma in that cold emergency room for 8 hours. But I understood. Kids want their mom, and I wasn't it. That night, I quietly removed myself from their routine. No more waking them up with pancakes shaped like hearts. No more staying up late to help with science projects or math homework. No more braiding Grace's hair before school or listening to Emma practice her presentations. I stopped signing permission slips. I stopped packing their lunches. I stopped asking about their day when they got home from school. 3 weeks later, the house felt colder. Kevin noticed first. "Why didn't Emma have lunch money today? Her teacher called." I shrugged. "Not my kid, not my problem." The girls noticed too, but they didn't say anything at first. Emma had to walk to school twice because I didn't wake her up. Grace wore the same shirt 3 days straight because I stopped doing their laundry, but I didn't say anything. I just watched. Until one night, I was heading to bed when I walked past Emma's bedroom and heard crying. Real, ugly sobbing. I almost kept walking, but something stopped me. I knocked softly. "Emma, go away," she choked out, but I pushed the door open anyway. She was sitting on her bed, holding a piece of paper, tears streaming down her face. "I didn't mean to find it," she whispered. It was a letter I had written to myself but never sent. Something my therapist had suggested when I was struggling with feeling like an outsider in my own home, a place where I could pour out everything I never dared say out loud. Emma had found it in my desk drawer while looking for tape for a school project. The letter said everything. How hard it was to love kids who didn't love me back. How scared I was of losing them if Kevin and I ever divorced. How I would give anything just to hear one of them call me mom, even once. How I cried in my car after every soccer game when they ran past me to hug their dad, like I was invisible. How I bought them Christmas presents in July because I was so excited to make their holiday special. How I kept a photo of all 3 of us in my wallet, even though they had asked me to crop myself out when they showed it to friends. Emma read every word, and she was crying harder now. "I didn't know," she whispered. "I didn't know you felt like that." I sat down next to her on the bed. "You weren't supposed to, but we were so mean to you, and you still did everything for us." Grace appeared in the doorway then, having heard the commotion. She looked between us with big eyes. "What's wrong with Emma?" Emma showed her the letter. Grace climbed onto the bed next to us and read it too, her little fingers tracing the words. When she finished, Grace looked up at me with tears in her own eyes. "You really wanted us to call you Mom?" I nodded, not trusting my voice. Grace crawled into my lap, something she hadn't done in months. "I'm sorry, Mom." "Mom." She called me Mom. Emma hugged my arm tight. "We're really sorry. We didn't mean it." The next morning, Kevin found all 3 of us asleep in Emma's bed, still holding each other. When he asked what happened, Emma just said, "We figured some things out." That was 2 years ago. They still call me Mom now. And last Mother's Day, they made me a card that said, "To our real mom, the one who chose to love us."